we had a debate last night, the last presidential debate that I almost missed, if not for Shannon reminding me that we had a debate again. So, Shannon, what did you think?
Well, I thought what everyone thought, which is the fact that it was very tame and calm. So therefore, a lot of people equated that to be boring compared to the last debate. I actually didn't pay attention to the last half, which I didn't intend to do that, but I just drifted off just because there was really nothing going on.
Yeah.
Overall, though, besides the fact that it was boring, I felt like it was much better. I feel like a lot of people were able to get their points across. Trump didn't do horribly. I mean, he was still saying a lot of things that weren't true, but he was also mixing that in with the few things that he was saying that were accurate points. So I feel like his overall tame attitude kind of blended his lies in with his facts, which was also not a great thing. But yeah, I think he did better than last time, and Biden, I guess, did better than last time too, because they were actually able to talk. I don't really know. Biden, I feel like will still get. To me, I still think Biden did a better job than Trump. But yeah, they were both better than last time.
So here's my takeaway. You said earlier that the debate wasn't as lively, chaotic as the first debate was. So many people were taking that, saying that this was a boring debate. I didn't feel that way. I go into all of these debates.
You were bored.
No, I didn't. I said specifically, I said this debate is not the chaos that I wanted. I specifically said it's not boring, but I wanted chaos. I'm pretty sure I said that.
I'm gonna pull up the receipts.
You want to get the receipts? I'm almost positive I said it's not boring.
Oh no! What you said this. No. You said this debate is too tame for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did say that. You said it's not boring, but I want chaos. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. And so I think that's what people were really feeling. It's not that they thought it was boring. It just when you that first debate. If you go into this for entertainment value like I do, because really we're not learning anything because we didn't. Shannon, the reason why I made Shannon go first with her recap is because I wanted to hear if she would say anything substantive. She didn't. You know why? Because they didn't tell us anything last night.
No.
We pretend like we get information from these things. We don't. It's why I think debates are actually the worst possible barometer in determining who should be president, personally speaking. But, oh my God. It's your TV. That scared me. Like, whose face is that? My bad.
Sorry, guys.
You're okay. But my thoughts on the debate, I thought Trump did a phenomenal job. And here's what I mean, people. Trump has created a separate ecosystem for himself, separate from his opponent. So Joe Biden is being judged. Well, in this case, both of these men have very low bars that they have to pass. Joe Biden has to prove when he goes up there that he's not an old man. He's not losing it. Trump has to prove that he's competent. And so, both of these old white dudes being judged by the lowest standards for the highest office in the land. Yep. It's the most incredible thing we will probably witness for the next 20, 30 years. That's number one. Number two, I thought the moderator did a very good job as well.
Oh, yeah.
Very
way
good
better
job.
than Chris Wallace. Actually, Chris Wallace said that he was jealous. He wished that he was able to moderate that debate. He did say that.
But here's the thing, though. She had help in part because of the automatic turning off the mic. So
how many times did that happen, though? Because I feel like that only happened, I feel like I only saw it happen 2, maybe 3 times, unless I wasn't paying attention that closely.
No, that's pretty much the count that I have is 2 or 3. But that's the thing, Shannon. So the people, the cutting off of the mic was only for the opening 2-minute statements, right? And so what happened was the speakers, President Trump and Joe Biden, you had an internal clock. So a lot of times they were stopping before the 2-minute mark because you didn't want to be talking and then mid sentence your mic goes out. So that's why I'm saying that she has some help, because that slight rule made, each gentleman, tone down a little bit and really make sure that they was giving concise answers, not giving these long-winded answers. And so it was an incredible change by the presidential debate commission that I think they should keep, from this day going on.
Yeah.
But other than that, didn't learn anything. I was going into
No.
this seeing if each one accomplished their goal, and they both did. This was kind of like the vice presidential debate. Joe Biden accomplished that he's not. Well, he conveyed to his supporters that he's not all the way gone. He still has some fire. I thought he had a much better healthcare plan, more detailed oriented. Trump, here's where Trump did a great job. Trump had to prove to his base that he still had it, right? After he caught the coronavirus, you know, he it was a quick turnaround.
Yep.
But even when you saw him, he was Trump, but he was not his usual, you know, animated, ridiculous self. And that's what people look. That's what they like about Trump. He's spunky. He's funny. He's, you know, charismatic. And so that last night was like the first time where I looked at Trump and I said, he's officially 100% back. Like that was Trump, you know, the hands, you know, doing his thing. That was Trump. He was back. So I thought they both accomplished what they set out to accomplish, which is probably a win for Biden because he's ahead. So he's kind of just, you know, holding on to the lead. I think this race is over. I think Joe Biden.
Oh yeah. Well, the race was over before this debate. It was just something for us to watch.
Yeah, I think Joe Biden is going to win this. However, one caveat is I do think his quote unquote like 9-point lead is built on sand. So we have 13 days until the election. Normally, in any other year, Shannon, if you got like a 9-point lead 13 days before an election, game set wrap. Two things that have me a little bit, okay, let's wait and see. Number one, both of these dudes are old as hell. Joe Biden could just die.
Stop. Don't put that in the universe.
Shannon, he is past the age that people die ordinarily.
Yes, I know. I get that. But don't put into the universe he will die before the election.
Look, so I didn't say that. I'm saying it could happen.
Oh, okay.
He could have a stroke.
I mean, yes.
Who knows what can happen?
He can die. A lot of people think that he won't make it through his whole term. I also think that. I just don't want him to die before the election. Just hold out. If you're going to die, just wait 13 days. That's all.
Oh, wow, Shannon. What great compassion for the man.
I mean, I don't. Of course, I don't want him to die. I'm just saying if he. But you already put the idea out there, so I'm just saying if he is gonna die, then just.
You make it sound like he can control when he dies.
I know that, but I'm just saying.
The age of these candidates make it so that they are more. For example, anybody could technically die before an election. What I'm saying is that the age of these candidates make it more likely. Even though it's significantly a small probability, it is higher than, for example, Barack Obama, because they're the age where old men die. And so because of that, there is a increased probability that anything can happen. Number two, Trump is making headway with a small percentage of the black male vote, right? All he needs to do, he does not need to win the popular vote. People keep watching the popular vote polls. That's not what he needs to do. He needs to win in swing states. And his chipping away strategy is a good strategy. You chip away. And see, here's the thing. He's not even telling black men not to vote, which in 2016, I know you saw the reports that's what was going on with the Trump. They wanted black people to just not vote. This time, he's flipping. Yeah. When you flip a vote, it's like a double positive. If you get somebody to stay home, that's one thing. If you can get somebody to not only vote, but just who was voting for Biden, now they vote for you, it's like a double positive. And so he's doing a good job chipping away. Even in the debate, if you notice, he made it a point when he spoke about the crime bill, he made it a point to say, you locked up thousands of mostly black men. All right. He said it like 2 or 3 times. And then he said, oh, and they remember, Joe, if you can see by the voting in the polls, they're going to make you pay Joe Biden. So his camp has the internal polling numbers that this is a winning strategy. And so that's the second thing going for Trump is that black men and like black women are not high on the Democratic Party. Matter of fact, they don't even like Joe Biden. Third thing, no one talked about this, but you tell me if you buy my theory, Shannon. The coronavirus numbers are going up at an insane rate right now.
Yes.
Joe Biden is actually winning with seniors right now versus Donald Trump. what happens though? Here's what I'm trying to say. We know that senior citizens are especially susceptible to getting serious complications or dying from the coronavirus, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if in certain swing states, the coronavirus is just spreading from person to person, that you have a significant number of senior citizens that are hospitalized uh, by the time November 3rd comes around?
Oh, then I guess that's a problem. Unless they all voted early or by mail, which I hope most of them did because they don't want to leave their house to go to the polls.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that the majority of them did that. But that could be a problem if they didn't and they're in the hospital. But again, don't put that kind of
I'm just saying, these are the things that I'm watching because this is an incredibly unusual year. And by the way, once again, in most of these swing states, I mean, Trump is, like, for example, he's tied in Texas, so he could win Texas. Mm-hmm. I think he's tied in like Florida. He could win Florida. He's down in like, what was it? I think Pennsylvania, about 5. Margin of error for those polls was like 3 or 4 points. Like, people who are talking about this as if it's a slim. Now, I think Biden's going to win because the polls have been consistent. That's different than saying that this is a slam dunk for Biden. I do not feel that at all. Matter of fact, Nate Silver has something where he was looking at 3 swing states. And basically, in 2 scenarios, if Joe Biden won 2 specific swing states, his chances of winning the presidency was like 86, 87%. But there was one last scenario, and I wish I screenshot it, where it shows Trump winning 2 swing states and Biden only winning 1. His chances of winning the presidency drops to like 73 or 74%.
Okay. Well, we all know that this is going to be a very close race. It's actually very fascinating to watch. It's like I'm counting down the day until everything blows up. Basically like a season finale, basically, is what election day is. And this is going to be different. This is going to be a different type of election in terms of we're probably not going to get the results right away like we usually get in elections because of all the mail-in ballots, things like that. So we're going to be waiting for who knows how long before we can actually get like a decision, which is...
Here's the thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think regardless of who wins, it's going to be a shit show in November because
of course.
I think each side is going to have a reasonable case, especially if Joe Biden blows Trump out the water. Like the margin he wins by in all of these swing states is so large that it can't be challenged. Then it'll be a smoother transition of power. If Trump or Biden win these swing states by a couple of thousands, that then sets up the possibility that there was an undercount. You can request a recount. You can challenge the outcome of certain states. You can question when did they receive the ballots, because I think in some states ballots are only valid up to 3 days after the election, but it had to be postmarked before the election, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have all of these scenarios where if it's close and Trump challenged the election and it goes to the Supreme Court to decide, I mean, there's a reasonable chance that the Supreme Court rules in his favor for
especially
a second
since
term.
Amy Coney Barrett will probably most likely be confirmed.
Oh yeah, that was always going to happen, though, Shannon.
Yeah, but still, that's not going to help.
So I'm saying, everyone go vote. These are just scenarios that me and Shannon are playing out right now.
Everyone go vote, especially if you live in New York. Early voting starts this weekend, right? Tomorrow? Saturday?
I don't know. I got my fast pass. Did you get that in the mail?
No, or maybe I did, but I didn't open it. What is that?
Yeah, it's like it's like this card that I have where when I go to my voting place, I can show it to, I guess, the person at the front door, and I go past the line.
Well, I'm sure they're not sending that to everyone, so
they think they shouldn't have sent it to me because I don't vote for either one of these white dudes. Here's what I will say: do you wonder? Voting, right? You said everyone in New York City go vote, right? Here's the thing, Shannon. New York State is going to go to Joe Biden.
Yeah, but I'm just making a general announcement that early voting starts on Saturday.
I'm with you. I just wanted to be for the public to know, for the overwhelming majority of you, your vote does not matter, right? if you live in Florida, Texas, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, there's a couple more I'm missing. Whatever. If you live in a swing state, your vote matters a lot. And this is kind of what I hate about the Electoral College, is that it makes the overwhelming majority of citizens, our vote matters not at all. Like, California is the biggest state in the country, population-wise, and their votes almost don't matter at all because every year that they're going to vote blue.
Yep.
And so it doesn't matter if 5 million more people vote in California than they do in Ohio. I think that's messed up. And something that both Democrats and Republicans should look into for the future, because I think Republicans, I think they discount how much destroying the Electoral College might improve their chances to win the presidency. Because there are people that in blue states that never vote because they live in blue states. And so Republicans think if they get rid of the Electoral College that it helps Democrats. But I think they're discounting how many people there are who might vote Republican who just never vote because they live in blue state.
Yep.
Right. So that's the end of the election talk.
I was going to read a graph of how many of the number of people that have voted early already in some of these swing states. Texas, it says that 5.9 million people have already voted. So that's good. Florida.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Florida 4.3 million. North Carolina 2.4, Georgia 1.9, Michigan 1.6, Ohio 1.4. It's going down as we get into smaller towns and smaller states. Pennsylvania 1.3, Wisconsin 1.1, Iowa 640. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, but the point I was trying to make: Texas 5.9 million people have already voted, and Florida 4.3 million people have already voted. Now, I don't know what side they voted on, but that's pretty good for early voter turnout.
So, statistically speaking, Democrats are more likely to be the early voters. And that applies to me as well because I'm not a Democrat. I lean, libertarian, conservative, and I have no plans on voting early at all. For one reason, a lot of shit can happen in 13 days. And look,
I mean, a lot can happen in 13 days, but I would go vote early because there's nothing that can happen that's going to make me want to change my vote. So whatever. So
what do you mean? What if Joe Biden dies?
What do you mean? What if Joe Biden dies?
Then your vote for Joe Biden is literally useless.
I mean, I guess.
I'm just saying, like.
Well, stop putting that out in the universe.
No, you're right. I'm just saying. I like to vote on at the polls for a couple of reasons. Number one, things can happen between now and election day. Number two, I don't put money in the mail, Shannon.
Oh no, I do not trust mail-in voting at all. I don't, and I wish that more people also didn't trust mail-in voting. Like I understand seniors not wanting to leave their house to go vote. I understand that. Yeah, but if you're young, if you've been going out to the grocery store, if you've been hanging out with your friends, polls. What is the reason for you to mail in your ballot? Go to the poll.
Totally agree. I've been looking at all these people that have been voting by mail. Like, good luck, because if we don't put money in the mail because we don't trust that the money's going to get to who we want it to get to, why in God's name would I put my vote? And by the way, it's not like an anonymous letter. It's postmarked that this is a voting ballot. Why would I put that in the mail? Insane. Yeah. So I will always vote at the polls. I will be voting on November 3rd. Now, I think we should make voting a national holiday. I agree with Bernie Sanders.
We definitely should. We definitely should.
A national holiday. Go ahead.
That would help with people waiting, because you hear these stories of people waiting online to vote like over 4 hours and all this other stuff. Making voting a holiday so that people can go all throughout the day and not a large group of people going at the beginning of the day and the end of the day. That would help. That would help a lot. And I don't know why that isn't already a holiday.
Well, I know why. We're going to get to it in the next 2 minutes. But absolutely. But voting should be a national holiday. I agree with Bernie Sanders. Even some Democrats disagree with him. I don't understand. It should be a national holiday. Number one. Number two, I think voting should start literally at midnight all the way to the end of the day, 11:59 p.m. All day election day, and then we'll start counting votes. It's a national holiday. People get to stay up between the 12 and 2 and watch the results come in. But that's what I think should happen in this country. We need to make it easier for people to vote. And for me, I don't trust the mail-in ballot thing. I think what that means is we have to increase the voting time, expand the voting locations. Anywhere that can be turned into a voting poll should be schools, gyms, churches.
Yeah, and give some people work. Let more people give more people opportunities to be poll workers. First of all, I applied to be a poll worker and they didn't call me back. I don't understand why. But anyway, give more.
About it. I don't want these people talking so close to me.
But yeah, give people more opportunity to work during the national pandemic. You know.
Yeah.
International, global. Sorry, I don't know why I said national. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what's it? Oxymoron? No, it's national pandemic. Global Shannon, what's going on with you?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm very tired. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. Continue.
No. This was going on for a couple of days. What did you say on
But I always I'm up since 5:30 every day, so I'm tired.
Okay, I get it.